Hello everyone, I am Abhishek Sahu and today we are here to discuss the topic circulatory system. So, humans and other vertebrates have a closed circulatory system. This means that the circulating blood is pumped through a system of vessels. This system consists of the heart, series of blood vessels, and the blood that flows through them. Now, the most important part that comes in the circulatory system is the heart. Now, what is heart? What heart do? What the work of heart? Now, first of all, discuss about the location of the heart. Heart is present in the center of the chest. It is a hollow structure. It composed entirely of muscles. It is size like the clenched fist. It's around the clenched fist. It is enclosed in a protective sac called as the pericardium. Enclosed in a sac which is called as a pericardium. In the walls of the heart, two layers of tissue form a sandwich around the thick layer of muscle called the myocardium. Contraction of the myocardium pumps blood through the circulatory system. The heart contracts about 72 times per minute and about 72 ml of blood with each contraction. It pumps about 70 ml of blood with each contraction. The right and left side of the heart are separated by a part named called as septum. Right and the left part of the heart is separated by a wall is called as septum. The septum prevents the mixing of oxygen rich and oxygen poor blood. It prevents the mixing of oxygen rich blood and oxygen poor blood. On each side of septum there are two chambers present. One is atrium and another one is ventricle. The upper chamber is called as atrium which receives the blood and the lower chamber is called as ventricle which pumps blood out of the heart. So overall there are four chambers of heart, that is right atrium, right ventricle, left atrium, left ventricle, and the wall that separates both of them is called as septum. It's called as septum. Now let us discuss about the heart walls. What valves work? What is the work function of valve? As the heart contracts, blood flow into the ventricle and then go out through the ventricle. So, flaps of connective tissue. What are valves? Valves are flaps of connective tissue, which is located between the atria and the ventricle. Blood moving keeps the valves open. When the ventricle contracts, the valve close, which prevent the blood from flowing back to the atria. There are also valves that stop blood from re-entering the ventricles after the blood has left. This system of valves keep blood moving in one direction, which increases the pumping efficiency of the heart. Now, that's all about the valve. Now, let us discuss about the heartbeat. What heartbeat? How heart beats? What sound it produces? So, heart muscles are composed of individual fibers. Heart muscles are composed of individual fibers. Each atrium and each ventricle contract as a unit. Contracts as a unit. Each contraction begins with a group of cardiac muscles. Each contraction begins with a group of cardiac muscles in the right atrium known as the sinoatrial node, which is short form called as SA node. SA node. Because the SA node paces the heart. SA node paces the heart, so it is also known as the pacemaker of heart. So what is the pacemaker of heart? SA node is a pacemaker of heart. The impulse spread from the pacemaker to the rest of the atria. From the atria, a signal is sent to an atrioventricular node and then to a bundle of fibers to the ventricle. When the ventricle contracts, blood flows out and produces the sound. What produces heart sound produces? Heart produces sound like lub and dub. One lub, one dub. It contracts 72 times per minute and produces sound lub and dub. Now let us discuss the another topic, that is blood vessels. Blood vessels. As blood moves through the circulatory system, it moves through the three types of blood vessels, that is arteries, capillaries and the veins. Now let us discuss each one. What are arteries, what are capillaries and what are veins? First of all, arteries. Arteries are large vessels. Arteries are those which carries blood from heart to the tissue of the body. In short, it carries blood away from the heart. Thick walls, arteries have thick walls which need to withstand the pressure produced when heart pushes blood into them. So arteries have thick wall and it carries blood away from the heart. So the next one is capillaries. Capillaries are small blood vessels, smallest. Among three, capillaries are smallest. Walls are only one cell thick and very narrow. They have very small, thick wall and very narrow. It is important for bringing nutrients and oxygen to tissue and absorbing CO2 and other waste products. Wall are thick, so it can help in important for bringing nutrients and oxygen to tissue and absorbing CO2 and other waste products. The next and the most important are veins. Once blood has passed through the cells, the capillary system, it must be returned to the heart, and this work is done by the veins. So, the arteries carry blood away from the heart, and veins carry blood towards the heart. Walls contains connective tissue and smooth muscles. Largest vein contain one walls that keep blood flowing towards the heart. So this is all about the blood vessels. So there are three types of blood vessel: arteries, capillaries, and veins. Now let us discuss about the blood pressure. What is blood pressure? The heart produces pressure. What kind of pressure? Pressure of a blood on the arteries, capillaries, or veins. This is called the force of a blood on the wall of the arteries is known as the blood pressure. Blood pressure decreases as the heart relaxes, but the rest of the circulatory system still under pressure. When blood pressure is taken, the cuff is wrapped around the upper portion of the arm and pump air until the blood. When we measure the blood pressure, the cuff is wrapped around our upper portion and pumped with until blood flow into the artery is blocked. The artery's blood is blocked. As the pressure in the cuff is relaxed, two numbers are recorded. One is systolic and another is diastolic. And what is systolic pressure? The first number taken is the force felt in the arteries when the ventricles contract, and the diastolic pressure is the second number that taken the force of the blood on the arteries when the ventricles relax. That is called blood pressures. And now this is all about the blood pressure. Now, what is blood? What blood contains? So, blood is a composition of plasma and blood cells, and it consists of three type of cells, that is red blood cells, white blood cells, and platelets. Now, what is red blood cells? What is blood cells? And what are platelets? First one is red blood cells, that is called RBCs. It is most numerous in type. It transport oxygen. It gets red color which from hemoglobin. There is a pigment named as hemoglobin which gives red color to RBCs. It is disc shaped. It is made in red bone marrow, and the lifespan of RBCs are around 120 days. The next one is WBCs, that is white blood cells. White blood cells guard against infections, fight parasites, attack bacteria. Number of WBC increases when body is fighting against any disease and against any infection. Lymphocyte produced antibodies which fight pathogens, and remember them. The last one is platelets. Platelets aid the body in clotting. Platelets are small fragments and stick to the edges of the broken blood cells, and cells secrete the clotting factor which make the blood clots. So what the work of platelets is aid the body in clotting. So that's all of the topic circulatory system. I hope you will understand very well. Thank you so much.